Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of my Hartford Whalers franchise mode series here on NHL 18. And today we begin a new season. However, it's not often, especially in this series, I mean, this is absolutely a first time for this series, but it's not often in any one of my series that the focus is solely on one player, but it absolutely is. We need Mitch Marner to recover. Now, again, in prior series, mainly on NHL 17, we witnessed some players recover, like a Brady Shea in the Manhattan Project, and we witnessed quite a few players not. So let's hope that Mitch Marner is more of a Brady Shea and that he's able to recover. If not, and we have to trade him, I know a lot of people were semi-serious saying bring back Radek Bulis, which is a possibility. I mean, I don't even know how well he's progressed. Let's go check Nashville. Let's see what Radek Bulis looks like. And as it is, I had to come to the screen anyway because we still have to clear up the AHL really quickly. But Radek Bulis, let's see. He's a 56 overall at 19 years old. So without a doubt, we'll keep an eye out on his development throughout the course of this series. And we'll find out whether or not we made a mistake or not. I mean, if we win a Stanley Cup with Roman Josi, we definitely didn't make a mistake. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, we have to trade a handful of players, actually a little bit less. We need to get rid of Kovalev. He is the odd goalie out. We are also going to look to move Boyer and Vishnevsky because we have too many defensemen at the moment. So I have done a little bit of scouting. We are going to look to trade Kovalev first, and we're going to go talk to the San Jose Sharks because they have a player I would very much like to add, and his name is Connor Roberts, 69 overall at 20 years old, the 29th overall selection in the 2018 draft. I was a little bit disappointed to miss out on him in that draft, and now hopefully we can bring him into the fold. We do need at least two other forwards for the Connecticut Whale to add a little bit of depth, and he would be a perfect addition. I'm going to see if I can get a third-round pick. I just want to see how close we are, and it's apparently not at all. Again, they don't want Kovalev, but they do want to get rid of Roberts. So we'll see if we can make that happen. How about straight 1-for-1? You know what? I'm okay with that. At best, I might have been able to add a 6th or 7th-round pick. It's a straight 1-for-1. We get rid of a goalie that we don't need to add a forward that we do need. So to me, that is perfect. And to be honest, the other player I'm looking at is someone who's a little bit, more AHL ready and not quite a prospect. I'm looking at Zachary Senyshyn from the Bruins, 78 overall at 23 years old. Is listed as a depth forward, somebody who might be able to break into the lineup. He'll be playing down in the AHL for sure, but he is somebody that we should be able to acquire fairly easily, especially getting rid of Boyer and Vishnevsky. I mean, Vishnevsky does still have decent value, but again, you look at, say, comparing him to Phil Crosby, same potential, same age, he's 9 points less. So Boyer and Vishnevsky will be the two guys, although we do need to pick up somebody else from the Bruins, which kind of sucks, but, I mean, if they have a somewhat weaker forward on a one-year deal, Oscar Steen could be the pickup here. You know what? I mean, that doesn't sound too bad to me. 74 overall. That would be the other forward that we need. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this deal done. Let's do it. And we should be able to recoup some draft picks here, I would imagine. Let me just see how a third-round pick works. And it does. Again, might have been able to get a little bit more out of that. I'm not too concerned. We're able to trade the two defensemen we don't need and the goalie we don't need, and we're able to pick up two decent forwards in the process. So let's see. We got to send down Oscar Steen. Why does it say we must have... who's in the lineup right now? That shouldn't be. Do we have an extra forward still? Ah, there we go. Senyshyn. I don't know why he would have been there, but there we go. We'll send him down. Of course, we're going to give Kosarenkov the chance. Now, with those deals taken care of, let's go sign our extra depth goaltender. And you know what? A better person, a better quote-unquote YouTuber would make an edit right about now. I'm not going to do that, as I let my dog get me out of the room and just raise my voice so that it sounds like I'm not too far away. Again, A better person would have made a jump cut there. Not me, damn it. Not me. My standards. My standards. I couldn't. Oh, God. I couldn't finish that sentence without laughing. My standards. Who am I kidding? I don't have standards. So let's sign Kuhlman. And then we also sent out contracts. I don't remember to who, to be honest. That's one thing I'm not recalling at the moment. I might have sent out 2 offers. Yeah, I sent out offers to forwards, depth forwards, if I'm not mistaken, which, you know what, is still fine. I mean, we have the spots on our team. So let's move forward really quickly here until those 2 guys accept their deals. It was Ty Ratty and Spencer Watson. That's right. That's who it was. So we could make the team even better if we cared to. And Mitch Marner has already recovered without me doing anything. Oh, this is the greatest episode in the history of episodes. Why did he improve? I don't know, but he did. And we'll leave him on that top line, and hopefully Nolan Patrick's all right with being on the second line for now. That is incredible for us. So let's see here. We have Mikhanov and Allen as the 2 goaltenders, which is fine. Kuhlman is the depth goalie at this point. And then defensively, let's see. Who do we have here? Who is scratched? Jorgensen, who's low elite, and Yuri Hdobin, who's medium top 4. Okay, so again, we do have a lot of defensemen that do deserve time in high top 6 and medium top 4. I think I'm just going to go with the best overall at the moment. Again, it kind of sucks that Jorgensen and Hdobin won't be playing, but I mean, we have such a good D-core right now. I mean, Valimaki and Liljegren, that's an amazing top pairing for an AHL team. So I'm liking the looks of our squad right now. Then the question is, I mean, right now, obviously the AHL team's looking pretty good. I mean, if I take Loktionov out, we could put in Lang, who's low top 6, Grabeshkov's medium 9, Beckett's medium top 6, Sereda is low elite, as is Ellington. So at the very least, I'm going to put Beckett into the lineup. And I think, I mean, it's certainly risky if I were to leave 2 low elite players in Ellington and Sereda scratched, but I think I'm going to do that for the moment. Just to start the season. I want to see how good these players are that we have in the lineup right now. I want to see how well this team can do. And, you know, if it turns out that they're going to be struggling anyway, then we'll put in the, the more youthful players. Although, I mean, pretty much everyone on this team is like under 25, I think, except for Ty Ratty, who's 27. Yeah, Ty Ratty's the veteran. Spencer Watson, the other veteran, at 24. So we'll go ahead and see how this team will do. And if they struggle, then we just simply, put in our true prospects at that point in time. So let's get this season sim underway. It's already been a great episode as we acquire a strong prospect in Connor Roberts. And, of course, Mitch Marner has returned to form. We will see if he can stay there. I feel terrible, even as I'm talking right now, knowing that full well with hindsight, or not even with hindsight, but knowing full well that, by the time I edit this video, where was I scouting the first time? Was I not scouting in Russia that whole time? I thought I was. Well, that was a mistake. Oh, well. The whole walking away and not making a jump cut thing. Laziness. Pure laziness on my part. I'm just kidding. It adds to the charm. Hopefully. Maybe. Love me. Don't. What am I talking about? Rambling. We are under 10 minutes into this episode, and I'm already rambling. I've already again, there was no integrity or standard to begin with when it comes to audio quality or video quality to begin with. You get the point, though. Let's get this show on the road. Let's begin this new season. Of course, the defense has been completely reworked. The offense is looking great. Except Artemi Panarin's going to be gone for the first month and a half of the season with a concussion. And that right there, folks, is why you don't get too confident. Don't get too confident when it comes to this game because it'll knock you down in a heartbeat. I'm going to call up Ty Ratty because I don't want to lose Tanishan to waivers. I don't mind if we lose Ty Ratty, though. That was worst case scenario. That was worst case scenario. So it is suggesting Sprong. I could go with Nolan Patrick. You know, we're going to do that. We're going to have Nolan Patrick. We're going to go Burakovsky, DeBrusk. And let's see, Ratty can't play center. So maybe Ratty, Kosarenkov, Brown? What do we want to do here? I might just keep Ty Ratty on that third line. I mean, obviously our depth is being tested here already, which really sucks. But you know what? I think we'll stick with that. We'll see how it goes. And then offensively, Ellington's a 56, Serrata's a 56, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to bring in Ellington. And you know what? Here, because I don't even want to bother editing this shit, let me just take out Locktionoff. So again, Beckett will be put into the lineup. And we should be good. Correct? Correct. I don't think. I mean, the only other guy I put in there was Lang, which is fine. Whatever. And then defensively, we're still good. Goaltending, I got to take out Kravchenko. That's the one kind of pain in the ass there. With having two players of a similar overall, we're good. We're good. Except for the fact that we just lost Artemi Panarin in the first game of the season. And we just lost Nicholas Bodine as well. An injured stomach. Now, what exactly does that entail? Like, did he take a puck to the stomach and have, like, internal bruising or, like, bleeding? Did he have a bad Mexican meal? Like, what exactly defines an injured stomach? Like, did he just have a good night of partying on the weekend? What is it? That's so vague, and it bothers me. It genuinely bothers me with how vague that is. I want details, man. What happened? How do you have an injured stomach? But anyway, he's back, so he's only out for a few days. It's fine. It's fine. I put Yuri Hedobin in, by the way, which is not too surprising, considering Jorgensen's only a 55. But there we go. The lineup is set. We shut out the Ottawa Senators 4-0 before losing to Toronto. Yet to lose in regulation until we lose to Colorado, because I just pointed that out. So it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, the whole walking across the room thing, I had to do it because I couldn't risk Emmy barking. I couldn't risk my dog barking. Then I really would have had to, edit this. And damn it, who has time for editing? Not me. I have all the time in the world. I can't even lie. I have all the time in the world. But it's fine. It's fine. Let's see, we have a 5-2-2 record thus far. Connecticut's doing pretty well, too, all things considered, which is what I was hoping for. Of course, we've seen some development from our prospects over the past 2 seasons or so. And as far as the scouting goes, again, I'm going to keep the same strategy of scouting forwards and defense for 2 weeks in every region. And then from there, if we can scout out goaltenders, maybe we'll look at the draft board and see who's actually worth scouting a little bit further. Mike Weber is on waivers. Now, I actually wouldn't mind picking him up, but we don't have a spot for him down in the AHL. He'd just be sitting on the NHL roster, and then he'd be complaining. Won't even bother. Won't even bother. Look at the Whalers, despite... shit. Again, that's why you don't get hype. That's why you don't get excited. I was about to be like, hey, look, we're doing well despite the injury. And then, bam, we lose a defenseman. Now, I can still call up Liljegren without losing him to waivers. So we will do that. Liljegren will get some ice time in the NHL for the first time in a while. Not the first time in general, but the first time in a while. And I might just go with what best lines selected. I might as well, because we're going to have to keep changing this. So it's fine. Here, let's go best lines there. Brings in Yuri Hedobin. And you know what? Let's just leave it the same with the exception of taking out Kravchenko. If Allen could make it to a 60 overall right now, that would be great. So I don't have to keep doing that. Let's see here. Wow, I just saw the Laval Rocket, their record, which was pretty ridiculous. But there you go. Artemi Panarin is back, which means good old Ty Ratty gets sent back down to the Whale, and we'll see if he gets claimed. I doubt he will. There's probably a reason he was on the free agent list, and indeed, he cleared waivers. Didn't mean to do that. Let's hit back. Nope, stop it. Back to edit lines. Thank you. Best lines. Best lines. What do I want to do here? There we go. It's looking good. Defense is still looking all right with Liljegren, and then we'll go best lines again down in the AHL. Allen is now in by default, which is good, and I'm just going to keep the team the same with Lockdown in the lineup. It's fine. Don't worry, it's fine. With the amount of injuries, squeaky chair for the win, with the amount of injuries that we have had this season, some of these players are bound to get ice time anyway at a certain point in time. Gabriel Carlsson is back, and we are 100% for the first time since opening night. Although Carlson's still a little bit roughed up, but you get the point. We are, at least on paper, back to 100%. So again, hopefully we can avoid injuries. It's good for certain players. If we keep having, injury trouble, it'll be good for them at least, and, whether or not they actually get to play. But yeah, still a little bit of a pain in the ass. And again, it keeps putting in Kravchenko. That's so annoying. I mean, I could just sign him, and then it wouldn't be a problem at all. As we get a trade offer, Jason Pominville in the fourth for a second in the fourth. No, thank you. I thought I cleared out the trade block. I guess I didn't. We have a 13-5-2 record, by the way. And people were wondering, and we're about to have an injury right here because I started talking. And people were wondering, third round pick, who is Gagne? If he's low top 9, he's not worth it. But that's an interesting deal. And he's low top 9. Had a feeling. He was a 7th round pick of ours. So you're telling me, granted, that might actually be worth it. It's Anaheim's third, though, not our own. So is Anaheim worse than Arizona? That's the question. I don't even care to look. We'll just decline. We're back up to the champions tag, by the way, though. I imagine that's solely because Mitch Marner has recovered. But so far, we've hit December 1st. We have a 15-5-2 record. We're going to keep going. Actually, here, let me check the lines really quick. The main thing I'm worried about, of course, is player morale. That could be a bit of an issue. Mitch Marner, 24 points in 22 games. And don't look now, the Whalers are in first place in the division. That is why you trade a Radek Bulis. That's why you do it. 14 points for Roman Josi. That's right. Ryan McDonough only 4 points, but still, what a top pairing that is. Defensively, we're actually not getting as much offensive, production from these players as I thought we would. But Artemi Panarin only has 2 points this year. He's played, 2 games? 3 games? 5 games. Wow. Panarin, get it going. I know you just got back from injury, but get it going. And then Burakovsky's actually disappointing. At least he's disappointing me. So here, let's go Kosarenkov, Burakovsky, Brown. We'll give Jake DeBrusk the chance. Why not? We'll give Jake DeBrusk an opportunity. And aside from that, the team is still looking good to go for the most part. I am starting to get a little bit worried about Nando Eggenberger. To be honest, I think near the deadline, Nando's got to go. We could even move him right now. Actually, you know what? Let's move him right now. It's not working out for him. He is just not improving. You could argue it's well, he's on the 4th line, but, if I'm not mistaken, we had given him decent ice time in the past. Nando's gots to go. But let's see. Okay, so we have our 5 goaltenders, which is good. Defensively, we're still good with who we have. So, yeah, it's got to be Nando that gets moved out. Mr. Eggenberger, where are you? Especially if he still has that much value, it's time to move him out. For whom, I have no idea. And to be honest, that Arizona deal would have been worth it, 100%. Who the hell do we try to acquire in favor of Nando Eggenberger? That's the question. You could argue now might be the right time to go after a third line improvement, although we'd have to send somebody down. I'd probably have to give up Jake DeBrusk or Kosarenkov to get like a true second liner if we want Burakovsky on the third line. See, I mean, their values are about the same. So let's see. I mean, Dabrowski's not going to get much better than that. He's a third-line scoring forward. He has 9 points this year. Kosarenkov has 8. So that's the problem, is I don't really want to give up on either of those two yet. So let's take a look. 9 wins, 8 wins. Who has the lowest win total? Colorado was at 7. Florida at 6. Nashville at 5 wins this year. Nashville, let's talk. Let's talk. What do you say we try to work something out here? To be honest, I mean, you don't want to trade picks, but can I get your second rounder? They'd have 50 players. Well, shit. Minnesota, Florida. Florida might work. Your second round pick, and maybe even a third? Is that too much? Yeah, that's too much. How about a 5th and a 7th as well? Will that go through? Yes, it will. Nando Eggenberger off to Florida. Again, 21 years old, can't seem to break the 60 overall mark. It's the right time to get rid of him. So again, we'll go best lines down in the AHL. I'll have to double check the goaltending. Again, it puts in Kravchenko. Allen, literally, all you have to do is go up 1 overall point. That's it. 1 point. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. But for the moment, we are good to go. It's a damn shame, too. Nando Eggenberger, with a name like that, you really don't want to get rid of him. Although I will say, in real life, fucking hell, Korpisalo goes down. It's only for a couple of days. And, of course, Malcolm Subban's looked all right so far this year. So I'm not too concerned. Or at least overall-wise, he's looking better. That's the one problem, though, our goalie depth is a bit weak. Let's call up Mikanov. We might as well. But I was going to say, with a name like Nando Eggenberger, you do not know how badly I want him to eventually be a Boston Bruin. You have no idea. I mean, even if you're not a Bruins fan, just the accent, and whether it's Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley having to say his name every game on commentary, you cannot tell me that Nando Eggenberger wouldn't be suited for Boston with that name. Or really, I mean, anywhere with a crazy accent like that. I mean, New York would work. Philly would work. Pittsburgh would work, I do suppose. Goddamn people can't say Mario. It's got to be Mario. Yep. Pittsburgh. What's the matter with you? But yeah, Nando Eggenberger, future Boston Bruin, I hope. And then he'll be like a 30-goal scorer, and we'll trade him away for a bag of pucks, and I'll cry myself to sleep. Just like I did when we traded Joe Thornton, just like I did when we traded Phil Kessel and then Tyler Seguin, and oh, God. But hey, like I always say, the Bruins have a cup. So, yeah. That's always my deal, is, losing in 17 seconds to Chicago must have hurt. It's like, yeah, it did, but, I got to see a cup. I got to see a cup parade. Yeah, it doesn't hurt after that. It doesn't. Especially, too, when you look at what happened to the Bruins, leading up to that cup win, with what had happened in the playoffs prior. They won a cup in my lifetime. I'm still amazed it happened. So, yeah, when it comes to, chirping or anything about the Bruins, I'm Teflon, man. It doesn't hurt. Nothing can bother me. Nothing can bother me. Except for the Bruins trading players. Jesus Christ, now Nolan's out for a week. This was probably the one thing that really could have slowed us down this year. Just injury after injury. I'm going to call up Spencer Watson this time just to see if he'll eventually clear waivers when we send him back down. Ouch. This is not going too well right now, is it? Let's see. Again, we'll just play Tierney, Kosarenkov. I'll play Spencer Watson on the third line with Kosarenkov and Brown. And down in the AHL, we'll go best lines. Goaltenders, good. It's Allen by default. Hooray. Hooray. Let's keep this going. We still have an 18-5-3 record, despite the fact that we have had some of our bigger names miss games so far this year. So I'm happy about that, at the very least. I mean, we might not have the greatest amount of team depth, at least in theory, but so far we've done well. And the main thing I'm going to check here would be the goalie stats. I think that might be very telling. So let's see. Yep, that third line is good to go. The defense is good to go. Let me check the goalies. 919 for Korpisalo. 944 for Malcolm Subban. He only has 9 appearances, but Malcolm Subban just tearing it up right now. He is the backup goalie I always wished he could be. And it's looking good for us right now. All right. I'm not sure how far we're going to sim into this episode, to be honest. Maybe we'll take a look at stopping here as we approach January. Approaching the half an hour mark for this episode. Seems like a good stopping point where we get to really kind of take a look at the team and dissect what exactly we are looking at. Although, to be honest, what else do we really need to do aside from maybe getting an extra depth player or two? While this could still go terribly moving forward as Tony Andrews goes down to injury to a concussion. He's only out for a couple of days, though, for the Connecticut Whale. And he is back already. We'll just leave him scratched for now. I mean, he's not even going to miss a game if we sim to January 1st, so it's fine. We have to play Ottawa and Toronto. We lost 8-5 to the Sens and then beat Toronto 4-1. So we have hit January 1st. It is 2021. And the Hartford Whalers have a 26-6-4 record. We are in first place in the Central. Again, we started the sim before they added the division realignment. What else is there to say? We held on to Mitch Marner. He is currently leading this team in points. We traded Radek Bulis to bolster our defense. And I'd say that's working out so far. Roman Josi, 23 points, a plus 17. 12 points for McDonough. He is a plus 14. I mean, again, what else is there to say? That third pairing could be a little bit better, I do suppose. And offensively, I mean, again, Kosarenkov's a depth guy, but for the most part, we're looking good. Kosarenkov has 14 points. He's not affected by waivers, so if we really wanted to, we could go out and get improvements on DeBrusk. Like, we could trade DeBrusk, bring in an improvement, send down Kosarenkov, bring in another improvement. But, I mean, right now, it's looking great. I mean, 15 points in 19 games for Panarin. He started to turn it around. This team is better than I thought they'd be. I thought we'd be good, especially with that improved defense. But, again, the goal, and then, of course, Malcolm Subban, who is just on fire right now, which is great. That was the goal. When we signed Marner, when we signed Pasternak, Panarin, we immediately shifted from rebuilding team who was going to build through the draft to going for it. That is why we traded for McDonough, or that's why we got McDonough and Gardner and Roman Josi. And to say that we're in a position right now to go for it would be an understatement. We very well may have the best record in the NHL. I want to know for sure. Again, 56 points in 36 games. And indeed, we have the best record in the NHL right now. That is why we traded Radek Bulis. Because right now, we're not thinking a cup a few years from now. We're thinking of winning the Stanley Cup right now. And that very well could be a reality. We just need to decide, do we want to keep this core together that's winning, or do we want to add a little bit more depth and really make it a sure thing and really go for it? And I think what we'll do is we'll definitely sim closer to the deadline before we make that decision. And again, the players you're looking at to replace would be DeBrusk and Kosarenkov, especially considering we can send Kosarenkov down if we need to. And then defensively, I mean, it's good. It's good. You could argue we get an improvement on Billy Polka. I'm not too concerned about it. And then, of course, down in the AHL, they don't have the best record at the moment. But for the most part, I'm content to keep the team the same until they're truly out of playoff contention. So a lot of those veterans still might not get into the lineup. As it is, they're only, 3 points behind the Utica Comets? So that's a very close race in that division at the moment. And Liljegren has 39 points in 32 games. What a monster. Everything is coming up Millhouse right now for this franchise as a whole. I almost don't want to stop the sim. Oh my God. I almost don't. You know what? God. No, we have to stop it. We have to stop it. I'm sorry, but we have to stop it, and we will. Hopefully, there's no EA voodoo when I come back tomorrow, record the next episode, and start simming through the season. Hopefully, the team's success, hopefully that success rate remains very similar to what we have seen today. But again, as we approach the trade deadline, which is actually way over on March 4th, as we approach that deadline, we may just look at acquiring a few other players. We are very much contenders this year. So guys, I hope you did enjoy. Looking forward to reading your feedback down below as far as what you think this team could potentially use. I mean, aside from the forward improvements, for the most part, again, we are good to go. It's just a matter of whether or not we add any depth as we approach the trade deadline. If you enjoyed the episode, you know what you have to do to support the video and the channel any further beyond actually watching it, as I hit the wrong button. Imagine if I didn't save. I would never forgive myself. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Follow me on there if you haven't already done so. And I will see you guys in the next episode of this wonderful series of mine that still and never will have a catchy name like Rebuilding Hockeytown or the Manhattan Project. Go Hartford.